Stop for a moment and imagine this. You walk into a factory in the UK. The floor is buzzing with machines, the air smells faintly of oil and metal, conveyor belts are moving, sparks are flying from welders. You look around expecting to see workers in bright vests and helmets. But instead, you lock eyes with something that looks eerily familiar, yet not human. It's tall, about 6 feet in height. It has arms, legs, a torso, and even a face-like panel that flashes lights as it processes information. It turns its head towards you, lifts a box with smooth, human-like motion, and carries it across the floor. No, this isn't science fiction. This is reality. Because just days ago, a UK startup unveiled the country's first-ever industrial humanoid robot. A machine designed not for movies or labs, but for real-world, heavy-duty industrial work. This isn't just about building robots, it's about rethinking the very nature of work, labor, and what it means to share our world with machines that walk, talk, and maybe even think like us. Today we're diving deep into what this robot is, how it works, why the UK is betting big on humanoids, the benefits, the fears, and the future we're stepping into, whether we're ready for it or not. So grab your seat, because this isn't just a story about a startup. This is the story of the UK entering the global robot race. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. The unveiling happened at a high-tech expo in London, an event buzzing with anticipation. Tech journalists, engineers, investors, and industry leaders had gathered. Whispers were flying around. Is this real? What will it look like? How advanced could it actually be? And then the curtain lifted. There it was. The UK's first industrial humanoid robot, standing tall under the spotlight. Its polished exterior gleamed under the stage lights. Cameras flashed as the robot took its first steps. Steady, calculated, shockingly human-like. You could feel the energy in the room shift. This wasn't just another gadget launch. This was history in the making. Unlike traditional robots that are locked behind safety cages, this humanoid walked freely across the stage. It bent, it picked up a box, and then placed it on a conveyor belt. The crowd erupted into applause. Why? Because this was the UK stepping into a domain previously dominated by giants like the US, China, and Japan. To understand why people were so stunned, you have to remember what industrial robots have looked like until now. For decades, factories have used massive robotic arms, machines that could weld, assemble, and move parts with incredible speed and precision. But they were fixed in place, dangerous for humans to approach, and completely inflexible if something changed in the workflow. This humanoid, it was different. It wasn't locked down. It was mobile, adaptable, and designed to share space with human workers. Imagine the leap. From clunky, single-task machines to a robot that moves and learns almost like a human. Alright, so we've seen the big reveal. The crowd was amazed, the cameras captured history, and the UK had just introduced its first humanoid industrial robot. But let's pause for a second and dig deeper. What actually makes this robot so special? What's going on inside its sleek metallic body that makes it more than just another machine on a factory floor? First, let's talk about design. Standing at nearly 6 feet tall, this humanoid is built to mimic the human body in structure and balance. Its frame is a blend of lightweight alloys and high-strength composites, strong enough to lift industrial loads, but light enough to move quickly without wasting energy. Its arms are jointed almost exactly like ours. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Each joint is powered by advanced actuators that give it smooth, fluid motion. No jerky, robotic twitches here. This thing moves like a trained worker who's done the job for years. The hands. Precision engineered. They can grip, twist, and manipulate tools. They're sensitive enough to pick up a fragile glass but strong enough to haul a 25-kilo box. That combination is no small feat in robotics, the hand problem. Making a robotic hand that's both delicate and powerful has been one of the toughest challenges. This startup claims they've cracked it. Now legs. You might be wondering, why not just put wheels on it? Wouldn't that be easier? Sure, but here's the catch. Factories and warehouses are built for humans. Stairs, uneven floors, narrow aisles. These are all environments wheels struggle with. By giving the robot legs, The designers have made it capable of going anywhere a human worker can climb stairs, step over cables, and walk on rough ground. Balance is handled by a combination of gyroscopes, sensors, and machine learning algorithms that allow it to catch itself if it slips. Imagine a worker carrying a heavy box, tripping slightly, but correcting their stance. This humanoid can do that too. That's huge. Then we have the eyes, or more accurately, the sensors. The robot is fitted with multiple cameras and depth sensors that give it full 360-degree vision. It doesn't just see like a CCTV camera. It understands what it's looking at. Using computer vision powered by AI, it can identify tools, recognize products, detect errors, and even read safety signs in its environment. It's like giving a worker not just two eyes, but an entire array of supervision that never gets tired, never blinks, and never looks away. Of course, what good is a body without a brain? That's where artificial intelligence comes in. Traditional industrial robots are pre-programmed. They repeat the same motion again and again. If something changes, even slightly, they stop, crash, or just can't handle it. This humanoid learns. Its AI system is built on neural networks that allow it to adapt in real time. For example, if a box isn't placed exactly where it was yesterday, the robot doesn't freeze. It adjusts. If a new tool is introduced, the robot can be trained to use it by demonstration, not by rewriting code. That's like hiring a new worker who learns by watching and practicing, instead of needing a manual for every tiny task. Imagine the flexibility that brings to a factory. Now, let's talk about the fuel that keeps this thing running, its energy system. One of the biggest challenges in humanoid robotics is battery life. Moving legs, arms, sensors, and running advanced AI all at once drains power fast. This startup claims their robot can run for several hours on a single charge, thanks to a custom battery pack designed for efficiency. When power runs low, the robot can return to a charging station autonomously, plug itself in, and be ready for the next shift. Think about it, humans need rest, food, sleep. Robots, just a quick charge, and they're good to go. And then there's communication. This humanoid isn't mute. It can interact with human coworkers using simple speech, hand signals, or on-screen displays. It's not about small talk, of course. It's about clarity. Workers can tell it instructions, supervisors can assign tasks, and the robot can confirm or ask questions if it's unsure. This makes it feel less like a machine in the corner, and more like an actual teammate. But what about safety? After all, you don't want a 6-foot metal worker swinging its arm around near humans. That's why the robot is fitted with advanced proximity sensors and collision detection. If a human suddenly steps in its path, it stops instantly. If it feels unexpected resistance while lifting something, say a hand or object in the way, it halts. This is a critical step forward. Traditional industrial robots were dangerous, which is why they were kept in cages. This humanoid is designed to work shoulder to shoulder with humans safely. Of course, the big question everyone is asking: how does this UK robot compare to the competition? Tesla has its Optimus humanoid in the US. China is rapidly developing state-backed humanoids. Japan has decades of experience in robotics, from Asimo to advanced caregiving robots. The UK's humanoid might not yet match the scale of Tesla's AI power, or the funding behind China's projects. But here's the kicker. This startup has positioned its robot not as a futuristic experiment, but as a ready-for-industry machine. It's not about showing off. It's about real-world use cases today. That's a bold and strategic move. So when you break it down, design, AI, mobility, safety, and adaptability, this isn't just a robot. It's a worker. A co-worker made of circuits and steel, but with the intelligence to learn, adapt, and perform alongside humans. And that raises a huge question. Why is the UK investing in humanoid robots now? Why step into this race at this moment in history?